we want to have this. I want to request all of you, just drop in a mail to ISAE or contact all the people you know here, that we want you experts to be in the tag team. This is nothing to do with any other institution. We want professionally to be, and probably ISAE would be an agency which can put up the proposals, because it's not biased against anyone. So an industry puts a proposal, they say it's biased, but I think we are all professionals. I think I would request you to come. Sorry for taking so much time for talking for the tag. We'll move on to the second speaker now. It's an interesting topic. I think, as I told you, it's one of the topics that we would love to have now on micro irrigation and protected cultivation. We already have a topic on vertical farming for Professor Brahma. He started. Then we have so many from Brahm. We started 2-3 speakers have given excellent talk on that. And now we have Dr. Tiwari. I would like to, I think everybody, we know Dr. Tiwari very well. I think Dr. Tiwari is from IIT Kharagpur, and he has done, he's actually bachelor from Allahabad. Then afterwards, he has done both in IRI. I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not Allahabad. I think it's your bachelor's done. I forgot actually. Sorry. I think Jabalpur, is it?
Yeah, Jabalpur.
Jabalpur, yes. And he has got a lot of patents actually. I think I counted about 7 patents he has got, and he's done excellent work, especially on actually 3 areas like micro irrigation and actually protective cultivation he does, as well as his interest in GIS for the stuff. I mean, there is a, and he also has various awards he has got, Rafi Ahmad Kidwi Award, Water Resources Scientist, Indian Water Resources IIT Roorkee Award, and Hari Krishna Sasti Memorial Award. And he is a fellow of almost all of them you can count, National Academy of Agri Sciences, UNESCO Fellowship. There's something in between me and him we find is, he was also in the University of Stuttgart with the DID Fellow in 1991. I was there in 1980. So probably we missed about 20 years. Earlier I was there. So it's something good. I think we can speak in German afterwards. We complete this. And he has got an adjunct professor at IIT Roorkee. And he is the chairman of Micro Irrigation Committee, Government of West Bengal. So he has got a lot of very long list he has got. I'm really pleased to invite Professor Kamlesh Tiwari to give his talk. And Dr. Tiwari, please.
Thank you, Professor Syed.
Yeah.
All the dignitaries sitting on the as a panelist. Let me share my screen first.
Yes, you can. You can. You can share your screen if you have a problem.
Yeah, actually, can it be? You know, I have already.
You can share. You can. We have shared already. You can click on that and you see share screen. There is one small box, share screen. Click on the share screen, but you should have the program running on there. Setu, you have the presentation ready? Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
yes,
is it visible?
Yes,
Syed, is it visible?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Topic which I have chosen, micro irrigation and protected cultivation. This is not new topic, and in fact, our last 2 decades, you know, work is going on in India in different agriculture universities. Here, I want to put forward my views. The most of the studies which have been taken up are still going on in these 2 areas. Mainly, these studies are on horticultural aspect, on agronomic aspect, and then finding out the what should be the best proposition for giving water, and this like a typical water management projects. Hardly attempts are being taken up on engineering aspect. Since these two technologies are most important areas of government of India, तो प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना, हर खेत को पानी, per drop more crop, these are the slogans specifically for implementing micro irrigation scheme. Similarly, MIDH, this is means a mission for integrated development of horticulture, where large number of protected cultivation structures, thousands of hectares of land has been used for constructing the poly houses, greenhouses, shade net houses, different kinds of structures are being used. In these places also, I don't see agriculture engineers are involved in constructing these greenhouses. The work is being given to the contractors or particular agency which are implementing agency in that, and in these implementing agency which are in the state also, I do not see agriculture engineers are playing major role. So here in my talk I want to put before you people that yes, where are the role of agriculture engineers, and they can take up these activities and then they can create their importance, that yes, here is the importance of agriculture engineer. Without this will not be a successful scheme. Micro irrigation and protected cultivation, the full potential it can be realized when adequate amount of water, means appropriate quantity of water it is given and appropriate quantity of fertilizer it is given. But if it is not designed properly, if it is not installed properly, you cannot achieve full benefit out of this. So if you look this,
Yes.
yeah, so here what we see in my content of my the entire full presentation, I have put up what is the global water scenario, which all of us we know. I will not be taking much time on this, and also the importance of micro irrigation is also known to us. I will be talking something that yes, what are the hardware part, how can we design our, and then the what is the lacuna at the time of implementation, can it be done? Same thing is for protected cultivation. What are the challenges in structural design of the protected cultivation, whether it is properly designed, and then the adoption part is also another part, that is the adoption. Farmers can adopt when they realize the full benefit. So this is means whether protected cultivation structures or micro irrigation system. When the full awareness and then training program, as Professor Gajan Singh was telling, that yes, there should be a program where people should, this young boys, they can be trained at the village level and they can be involved in implementing micro irrigation and protected cultivation things. So this should be taken. Next, please. I'm not able to do.
Setu, you're,
Yeah, Setu can he help, because I'm not able to do it, whether he had loaded. So I won't speak much about this. This is a known fact that yes, we have got a limited land, which is 2.4% of the global land area, and we have to feed 17% of the world population with limited water of 4%. Then another part is that yes, we have a varying rainfall in different zones, where the rainfall means the lower value, that is less than 750 millimeter, there is a the 33% of agriculture activities are going on in these places, whereas medium rainfall, which is between 35%, and high rainfall is at 24%. Next, please. This slide, basically all of us, we know that life, without water, there is no life. So whether it is a micro or micro system, whatever biological system it exists, it cannot survive. And the agriculture is the largest consumer of water. That is 80% of the fresh water is being used for irrigation purpose. And there are other, when we are talking about the energy sector, development of energy sector, development of industries. So the share of this water is 80% right now. It is being used. It is going to be reduced in the years to come. So where actually this your micro irrigation system, it can come next, please, can play role. Similarly, there is a water crisis all throughout the world, and it is being discussed almost in every alternate day about the Cape Town, and this has is given an example. Sydney is another, Chennai, Bangalore, New Delhi. These are all the cities, all altogether 200 cities across the world where supply of water is less than the withdrawal it is happening. So this should be, as Dr. R.C. Srivastava was telling, that yes, there should be reserve water. It's like a bank. So this kind of situation will not happen. Next, please. Next slide, please. Quality is another issue. Water which is coming from different sources, it is a poor quality water. Waste is being disposed to the running streams, pesticide from agriculture, and these are the. So next, please, next.
Next slide.
So looking to the different when we say the micro irrigation, why micro irrigation is important? Because it has got very high overall water use efficiency, which is 80 to 90% as compared to the other methods of irrigation. And because large amount of water, it goes as a wastage, as a convenience loss, it goes beyond the root zone depth. So that becomes a loss. Here it requires, why it is important, because there is a saving in energy, there is saving in fertilizer application, because micro irrigation can, it can take liquid fertilizer in a soluble form, and that can, so the overall fertilizer use efficiency is high, and irrigation, it save water, overall productivity, it increases for all the variety of crops. Whereas penetration of micro irrigation as compared to the various, when we are comparing with Israel, it is anyway, they have got more acute shortage of water, but not only 90%, but more than 90% of the land it is under micro irrigation. Like this in other countries, it is there. Whereas in our case, it is a progressively increasing, but in spite it has a potential of 69.5 million hectare, only 15% of the water land it is being brought under micro irrigation. Next, please. Setu, can you please help?
Yeah, he's saying it will take time. It will take time.
So here, what I am putting that is, what are the challenges for implementing micro irrigation? So challenges is whether the design has been accurately done. Though there are, industries, they have got software, but out of 300 odd micro irrigation, industry, it exists. After Government of India, it has, it is giving subsidy scheme. So we find that, but these all the industries, they do not have, competent people who can design properly. So this is where agriculture engineers can play, which involves crop water requirement. Now, crop water requirement means appropriate amount of water to be given to the crop, having, if we know what is the crop, what is the growth stage of the crop coefficient, what should be the, so Kc is not known properly, Et not, which depends on the, means that is reference evapotranspiration, which depends on the climatic data. Such data are not available. So people are, just taking guess and any value they are doing it. Same thing is fertilizer. So fertigation is, hardly it is being implemented. So there is no proper, and the whatever the fertigation it is being done, it is done by using a pressurized tank, or it is by the venturi system. These venturies are not properly designed, particularly for our Indian condition, where land holding is small. The size of the venturi which should be used, these are not being used, which has got better water application, this fertilizer application, because the dilution with the time it is making better than the pressurized tank. Hardware development, hardware involves several components that is hardly being taken by properly. So there is a mismatch of whatever is the suppose we are taking a filter. Now filter should be matched with the flow of water coming from it, from the pump. Now this filter, one part is designing a filter, another part is fabrication. So whatever company they have, they go and install. They do not see really how much is the head loss, how much is the pressure loss it takes from the filter. So this is one part. And then what is the appropriate size of the filter? It should be there. Can we have the economical design filter, design of filter? So this can be done by then assured power supply, which is it should be uninterrupted. This is a problem. So can we have solar system? Now we already there was a presentation. So but that is another part, that is solar should be used, but there is some kind of proper matching should be there based on the varying energy and varying power supply. Then installation is another problem, that whether properly it is installed. Awareness campaign is the another part. Government subsidy is implementation is another issue that we will be discussing in the next part. Next, please.
Dr. Tiwari, I remind you, you got 30 slides more. Little bit faster.
Yeah. I will not be discussing. Next, please. I will not be, because already I've told. Next, please. I will not discuss in all the slides. Next, please. Yeah. So here, actually, in this particular slide, based on the long time work, more than 2 decades, for different crops, mango, guava, banana, pineapple. These crops, we have taken up for a long-term basis, and we try to establish the crop coefficient, try to establish the water requirement of crop, which is on monthly basis. That when the crop plant is of one means your 1 month, then 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, like this. So this kind of a thing with in the open field as well as under plastic. Similarly, for vegetable crop, these values it has been established for sub-humid condition of the eastern region, where these values will vary depending on the crop variety as well as the climatic condition over there. So such type of things it can be done. Next, please.
Professor Tiwari, I think we have to get to the real problems we are facing and what solutions we have and what you have to do. Because I think classroom lecture academics we have.
No, it's not for classroom. Problem is this one, I have already told. Problem is whether the system is properly designed. So properly designed means these informations are not available. So some kind of thumb rule kind of a thing is happening in micro irrigation. So full potential of micro irrigation system is not realized because agriculture engineers are not there. This is what I want to highlight here. So such information which we have generated, so these should be utilized by implementing agency. Now implementing agency, those who are sitting in different places, they are non-agricultural engineers. And wherever agriculture engineers are there, you can see there is a constant growth of micro irrigation system in the field installation. So this is what I am telling. If I say that this should be done, so I have done this work. I have done, and that's what these data are required for other places to be developed. Next, please. Same thing which I am telling, the filters, fertigation equipment, these devices are available, but whether it is a proper size. If the pump is delivering say 2 liters per second water, but filter is available of another size, which is not designed because the area of the filtration element is different. So there is a huge loss of the, and then same thing is fertigation equipment, emitters. Now emitters, any emitters, emission devices, they are being used. Sensors are needed when we are talking about that this should be irrigation should be given on the basis of soil moisture sensors. So such studies are needed, and people should use these sensors which are available. But this should be there. Then automation components. Next, please. So a drip, a dripper, commercial dripper, it consists of a three component. One is inlet, another one is, when the water it comes, you can see this is the inlet part, this is the dentate where that is a tablet, and this is outlet part. Now, what we have done, we have made certain changes in the dripper system. So what we have done it, you can see here, I'm just showing you the next slide, please. If you are able to see, this is one kind of a dripper which we have developed. Now this dripper and this dripper, this is the material required for this dripper which we have developed. This dripper needs only 1/5 of the material. So cost of the drip system, it can be reduced. The another problem is a clogging problem. So a lot of things which it develops. So when we are designing this your dripper, one should take care. This is the dripper which I am telling that yes. So this one, it is one can regulate the flow. So one dripper, when it is at the early stage of the plant, if it is needed only 2 liter per day water, this can be used. And the same dripper, if it goes to the plant goes, say it is a mango plant, it needs 35 liters per day water. So this dripper, it can supply water. So we can reduce the number of drippers, number one, and the total requirement. So almost 1/5 of the dripper cost can be brought down. Similarly, we have done for using the subsurface drip system, that this type of thing we have developed. Next, please. Now this is another, this is another dripper which we have developed. Now in this dripper, if you want to see that this is the inlet end of the dripper, and then the three components which I was telling. Now these three components have been reduced to two components. So two components which has been reduced, and here the design has been changed so that the energy dissipation takes place. And then here, if you are pressing little hard, you can get the compensation, means you can have the differential discharge. So this work which we are doing, and this is we are implementing at the farmer's field. This is a single component dripper. Now single component dripper, it involves only one dripper. One dripper means which is almost 1/10 of the total dripper. So one component single where you are seeing that here. So one component dripper, it is working at 1 feet height. So this kind of a thing. Then sensor is the another component which is being shown here. This we developed granular soil moisture sensor, and this soil moisture sensor, it can be used for monitoring the soil moisture content in the soil. I will not be discussing as time is very short. Next, please. Yeah. So reduce the another part is which I was telling, that is a challenge, that getting the assured power supply. So solar energy here we are emphasizing, where we are optimizing. Now this is the thing which is a problem what Professor Syed was telling, that the solar pumps are not being properly utilized. So optimizing the micro irrigation system layout, considering the flow rate variation due to varying solar irradiance and water levels. So different season, different this type of, where once the power supply is less, then the flow rate will be less, the total pressure will be less. So low pressure economical dripper which has been given, which should be designed, which can be implemented in the field. Next, please. Yeah, this is the what we are implementing in the field and testing it, and we are coming out with the optimization model for Kharagpur condition. Next, please. So here what you see that, yeah, the power means solar irradiance, it is changing with means diurnal change in the value corresponding, there is a power change, and then the discharge is changing. So normally the design which has been made, just arbitrary any value which has been used, and therefore the total potential of the solar power, it is not being used properly. So because there is a variation in the solar energy power availability, the discharge will be also varying. So accordingly this can be made. So that is what, for a given set of conditions, if the solar energy data are available, groundwater data are available, then from the pump the discharge, and that can be optimized, that what should be the optimum layout design for the micro irrigation system in the field for a given crop. Okay, next please. The another part is that your challenges the water availability, because in eastern region water is available, farmers are not adopting, so they have realized the importance. But point is this one, that cropping system is rice. Now a few days back I was just seeing the view that in Banaras they are using the black rice. They have started using cultivating black rice, which is being exported to Australia. Now such rice varieties, if they are taken, and then the drip irrigation can be greater solution, which we have taken at the crop means your. So rice is the another appropriate crop. Lack of micro irrigation implementing agency or departments. Hardly there is an agricultural engineer except in Andhra Pradesh. Uh, they had agricultural engineer. Next, please. Next, please.
Dr. Tiwari, another 3 minutes.
Actually, you have not, Dr. Pro Sayyed, you had just given. I was thinking I will be getting, 45 minutes. 45 minutes, at least 30 minutes. But I started it at 8:05. I started 8:05 or 8:10. Okay. So yeah, now this is the another part which I am telling you, that this is a on the protected cultivation structures, the designs have not been done adequately. Now these we conducted online work. These are all younger people with whom we have we had a workshop. We had we have given them training. Now they are doing it, but they faced in the recent Amphan cyclone, these structures got damaged. Of course, cyclone we cannot, but ordinary speed less than 100 kilometer per hour, also the structure gets damaged because of the not proper structural design which is taking place. Next, please. Next one. I will not discuss this part. These are all known to you people. Next, please. Yeah, so these structures, please, previous slide. Previous slide. Yeah, there could be different structures, even shape, quadrant shape. Professor Pritam Chandra, he brought out a very good design for the quadrant state during when he was working in IARI. So the structural analysis of such type of greenhouses is important, and that should be considered based on the wind speed and also the economical sizes of all the components that should be analyzed. So we have taken up such a study. Next, please. Next. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here what we means, if you see here a concept type greenhouse, when the wind is blowing, what it does, it tries to lift the structure, so pressure and suction both take place, or it displaces the structure. So there is a failure, it takes place. So we need to design structure properly. So given the properties of the material, we worked out what should be the size of the different components of the structures. Next, please. So the stresses occurring in the different. Next, please. Stresses occurring in different places. So for different wind speed, what should be the outside diameter, what should be the thickness of the pipe or the arc material. This is for the concept step. So for different heights, for different areas, the stress analysis at the different places, it has been done for the column as well as the arc and other, the structural materials. Next, please. I will be just coming to the directly, please come to the, yeah, these are the, plantations which we have established after working for more than 2.5 decades in these places. These are our research findings where this is being used. Now there are various, farmers all throughout, more than 11,000 farmers in, in the West Bengal, as well as, in the adjoining states, Odisha and all, that we have trained. And many farmers they are using, they are in touch with us, and we are contacting regularly. But now for, it has been proved that yes, wide space crop it has been used. Now the next part is that the crops which are there, say cereal crops. Cereal crops means using, that is a real challenge for using drip irrigation system. And we know that yes, water resources continue to be becoming scarce. So micro irrigation has got potential. It will do subsidy in water and energy that hinders. What happened when the water is really available? Energy, whatever the government of government, state government, they during election manifesto they the wiped the entire thing. So what happened? People are not interested. So this is another thing that has to be taken. Protected cultivation design has been done for the few commercial crops, means capsicum, but hardly there are, it has been taken up on the structural aspect where agriculture areas should address the issues of the structural aspect so that in the life of the structure it can be. There are, because microclimate inside the greenhouse, inside the, protected cultivation structures is important so that the crop inside it can be taken. And we need to focus education, transfer knowledge to the various, stakeholders. It's not only the farmers, but implementing agencies in the different departments, the officers of the agriculture department, officers of the, horticulture department, irrigation department, where civil engineers are there. They do not realize, they feel that yes, the way water is flowing in the canal, it will be there. So they are supposed to be the train so that this can be effectively implemented. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari. Very interesting topic on protected cultivation. I have some questions. I'll take questions now. Before I have a short question, Dr. Tiwari, in this irrigation, actually, you got emitter, you got a pump on one side, another side the emitter, and in between the pipes and your valves. When you want to automate this, you need valves which are solenoid valves, which are not yet manufactured economically, or never manufactured in India. Now, emitter you made one. Now, what about the valves is another area we're looking micro irrigation, which is need. I would request all of you not to you mute. I will allow everyone to ask the questions because it becomes difficult if everybody starts talking. Okay. Now, your opinion about valve development? Anything you are doing? Anybody?
No, not valve development, because valve which are available commercially, this has been used. That is another part. Professor Syed, what when you are telling the valve part, that comes to the the automation aspect you are telling. I am telling you even the conventional micro irrigation component, they are not properly designed and being used.
No,
that's correct. What you are telling, yeah, that should be the another area one should take.
No, farmer cannot go in the night time and do the fertigation. This is the problem I saw in Baroda.
Correct.
Anyway, let's now. Dr. Mayande has a question, please.
I think Dr. Tiwari compliments, I think, given a very good information on micro irrigation and protective irrigation. I have two major questions where I think probably the policy involves. We have 64 or 65 million hectares of total irrigated area, out of which only 12% is micro irrigation so far. In spite of last 2 decades, government subsidizing 50 to 90% of subsidy on micro irrigation, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, several schemes, why we are not moving to achieve the goal? Actually, why only growth rate is, micro irrigation growth is slow? This is one question. Secondly, protective irrigation, one of the very, very key technology now in the climate change era, because one unit area, higher productivity unit area is only achieved from that. So area under protective irrigation, protective cultivation is only 25,000 hectares countrywide. I think this is where we think that in spite of popularity, in spite of funding, in spite of government initiatives, where we are actually going, what is the stumbling block in achieving the goals? This is one area which probably, I think, Dr. Tiwari, you mentioned some points in your presentations, but I think as even at ISAE and all agriculture engineers probably we have to rethink about it and give a government a feedback why we are not able to achieve the goal in spite of initiatives taken, in spite of funding.
Yeah, one part is that yes, it's a crop. There is, say I'm telling about West Bengal, Odisha, means eastern region where the rainfall they get, and then they have got like means their food habit. So rice is the major crop, and soon after the rice they want to take vegetable, but for vegetable they want a micro irrigation should be there, but they don't want to switch over from rice to other crop. So this is one hindrance which I find that we have to find out the solution how the same system it can be used for the rice. This is one thing. Another one is the proper awareness among the farming community. In spite, a small institution they are doing, agricultural industry they are doing campaigning, and then the stakeholders, means the state department, they should be also convinced. I am telling you, when I go there for giving seminar or giving lecture in state irrigation department, our engineers, they are not able to understand that they are giving water drop by drop, it will give solution, and then it is going to that. This is another kind of, I think their mindset is like this. And people, those who are rice scientists, they have got a specific feeling that yes, how you are talking about that rice can also be grown under.
Okay, Dr. Tiwari, this is a very complex situation we are talking, so no answer you can give for this. Anyway, I have another question from Dr. Pitam Chandra. Can you please ask your question?
Yes, can you hear me, Dr. Tiwari?
Yes.
Okay, very good that I attended your presentation.
Thank you.
See, part of the blame is with me also. I left this field in 2002.
Yes.
And so the structural designs and those kind of questions remained unanswered. Maybe we can make up for that loss now. One of the reasons why things have not picked up is there is not enough target in the government. Even if you look at the total money allocated for drip irrigation or for protected cultivation, it's not really very much. If you look at those figures, we won't be able to complete the target in even next 50 years. So in addition to the awareness, lack of awareness, the government's targets are also quite low. So we would need to probably go ahead and convince them that we need to increase the targets. Then there has not been enough emphasis on the system's efficiency. As long as the system is sold, their target is fulfilled. How the system is working, what is it delivering is nobody's baby. So the awareness on the clientele side probably would have to be enhanced. And so probably the next generation of farmers which would take over in the next decade, probably they would be better placed to ask for better quality systems. So these are some of the comments on the questions which have come up. As such, I don't have a question to Dr. Tiwari because we have been working together for a long time.
Thank you, Dr.
Dr. Chandra, I would like to add one more thing here. The subsidy which is given for only first time, if some part is broken, it becomes obsolete. It is not working. So it is the farmer has to purchase by new. This is another part which I come across when I was surveying those farmers and when I was talking with these farmers.
I think we suggest we take the tag one of the protected cultivation, one of the topic. We have a question from Professor Gajendra Singh, please.
Yeah, Professor Tiwari, thank you for presentation. My suggestion is that you identify number of areas which agricultural engineers have to deal with. Okay, these are the challenges. And I look at IIT Kharagpur is the main institution which is providing all this human resource leadership in every profession. And Dr. Srivastava, on the other hand, as a Vice Chancellor of this, I think if we identify the niche areas for agricultural engineering, and so I think we have a flexibility to train our students in those areas so we can make a greater impact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I want
I-
to tell you one thing.
No, I have a
Sir,
question.
sir,
Yeah.
can I tell you one thing? I want to tell one thing. See, protected cultivation. Let me know from agriculture engineering, because we are sitting here. It belongs to which discipline? We have got in agriculture engineering 3 major disciplines. One is farm power machinery, land and water resources engineering, and fruit process engineering. Now the boy who does MTech or PhD in protected cultivation research, if he does, who will be the taker? Because the advertisement of assistant professor are, in ASRB. As such, it is a problem for him. He tells her who will be my guide, who will guide me if you are retiring, then all these questions are there. It is still, it is not fully, recognized. So this is the thing which should be very clearly,
Yeah.
it should come in the academic part also.
The similar problem came with the drainage and all we are talking about ISA. I think this is very difficult. This forum cannot solve this particular issue. I think it's a common, the problem I told, agriculture. Just a second.
Yeah.
Agriculture engineers, even less than a person only want to go somewhere. Everybody want to become only professors or somewhere government job. This we have to change. I think your question is actually any discipline should be allowed in agriculture engineering, not to divide this. I also know the problem some universities, this fellow cannot teach this because he is not belonging to that particular subject. And this we should forget it. Now, Dr. Pitam Chandra, you are saying something.
I'll just add to what Dr. Tiwari said. In fact, we did create a discipline on agricultural structures and environment management.
Yes.
But then people in the ICR, after I left and went to Bhopal, they were smart enough to scrap it off. And that's how we are again asking the same question.
Sandeep Jain is working success. He works on again on this polyhouses.
Yeah.
That I know. Right now also it is there. Now I have a question. Actually, I want to give some youngsters a question. Otherwise they will. I will ask Bimal. Please, can you? Bimal, can you ask you?
Oh, Professor Marlan. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Professor Mal.
Yeah. I don't
You had been my senior colleague here in the institute. And still we are close. Yeah, please.
Okay. So actually what Professor Terry is doing, I know, but from the mid-90s only has been working, and Professor Terry has been doing good work. And as far as the application part is concerned, in fact, I have seen a lot of farmers in Mirzapur district, especially because I am in touch with them. I know many of the people there. I have seen they are really using it. In fact, for flower cultivation, Mirzapur is the many farmers are involved in the flower cultivation. Starting from Kharagpur and go towards Howrah, on both sides you will find a lot of flower cultivators. So, in fact, even I heard in the TV that there is another program from the ETV, which is telecasted in 15 languages so the Bengali one I sometimes attend, and I have been connected with them because some of my technology are also telecasted. So I heard that telling that we learned this thing from IIT Kharagpur, and this greenhouse technology, this drip irrigation, all these things have become very useful. So it is being applied, but maybe in a limited scale.
Thank you.
That is the thing.
One more. I'll take one more question, then you can answer them. Mintu Job, you're asking question.
Sir, namaskar. This is
Namaskar, Mintu.
Sir, my question is, sir, this question I couldn't find the answer even I attended few more training from the industry about PC drippers. They claim that PC drippers give the same flow whether uphill or downhill. So I want to understand how in the uphill, how this extra pressure is created so that the uniform pressure is coming.
No, you are talking about, Mintu Jab, I could not understand whether you are talking about the dripper which I have developed.
No, not that one, sir.
No, so I no idea actually, unless I see, and then I have no idea about what they have manufactured. We are actually, what happened due to lockdown, because I have been working for last almost 1 decade, and number of improvements means improvement in it has come, and we were thinking to get it mold made, because all these things which we have made it, this is using the software and using the 3D printer. And then from the 3D printer, we have also, made the simulation studies, and also, the field trial at our laboratory scale we did. But we want to really get it manufactured from the, by getting the molds, and then we will be able to come out with this one. Because I feel that, yeah, the cost will come down to 1/5 of the conventional dripper, which is varying from 4 rupees to 16 rupees per dripper.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a very, very, very informative talk and a lot of discussion. I would request those who are interested, please, we are going to have one tax session, several tax sessions on protective cultivation, because we want to find out some of the polyhouses which are unutilized today. I'm talking about thousands of them. Can be probably made with vertical. People are trying already some of the areas with vertical farming up to 4 layers, where you require automation. Like I told you, webinar we started with automation. I think automation can help all these problems. Monitoring is not existing. All what Tiwari told, or whatever told, this has been done, this government, there is no monitoring system. So that is what a technology brings you, the possibility to monitor, and you don't monitor, you don't get paid. I mean, very simple as it is. You must force it. That's what I told even the research work which is done by universities like IIT Kharagpur must be live all the time. Because when I ask some people, some university, what happened to this research, they say it's published, it's over, dismantled. I think we should have, and I think I love very much to hear today, everybody is talking about ISAE must take the lead to bring together and be a platform to tell the problems, issues, what we face, because I understand very clearly that even if I work in ICR, I cannot tell some problem if my boss says no. So this is the problem actually, because you have to stick to there. So, but this is a forum which can freely talk, and I thank you very much for all of you coming together for this. I really thank from my heart, bottom of my heart, and would request you please come to TAG, because without you, the whole of this webinar 2 series or ISAE objective of bringing together and for fruitful benefits of the farmers. We want to see the benefits reach the farmers. That is all we want to know, agriculture engineers. Plus, we have to regain the name, what we have not got. For example, even in irrigation and all, agriculture engineers are very less involved when you talk about irrigation. When you go and meet the irrigation department people, agriculture engineers are very, very less in industry going, even there, not because they're not capable of doing it, because their exposure is less. And I think that's what technology must be taught in the universities, research institutions, monitoring, evaluation at every stage, and then correction at every stage, responsibility at every place. Probably we can all join together achieve it. Thank you very much for coming to this webinar. If no other concluding words from somebody, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.